Well, before Ron DeSantis was Florida's governor, he had a career, if you can believe it, in baseball. He even went to the Little League World Series as a kid. DeSantis went on to be a 4-year starter and senior captain for the Yale Bulldogs before graduating from Yale in 2001. Coach John Stuper recruited DeSantis to the team, and the two remain close friends to this day. John Stuper joins me now. Hey, John, you consider Ron DeSantis to be a son. Your reaction to announcement day today?
Pride, absolute pride. You know, it was a big deal when he became a congressman. To be honest with you, it was surreal when he became governor, and I watched him at the inauguration and then another inauguration. But obviously, this is another level altogether, and support him 100%. Could not be prouder of him.
How did you meet him? How did you recruit him to Yale?
A coach down here, a friend of mine in the Florida high school system, called me and he said, "Hey, Stoop, there's this hitter on Dunedin High School, and I heard he's a really good student." And he's like, "Stoop, this guy can hit." So went to see him, and the guy was right. That guy could hit. And so the recruiting process began. He came to campus for a visit. He had a number of choices. He chose Yale, which I'm glad he did, and the rest is kind of history. He started from day one. As a matter of fact, his freshman year, he was the leadoff hitter, so he had the first at bat in his first game, his first year at Yale, and was like a .313 career hitter, which at the Division I level is outstanding. He's just a really good player.
You stayed in touch even after he left Yale. You say that he is the furthest thing from privileged. You say he was never born with a silver spoon in his mouth. He was a hard worker.
He worked more jobs at Yale. I don't know, honestly, how we get athletes for 20 hours a week in the season, and he was working jobs to defray the cost of tuition to help his parents. I mean, everything from setting up for football games to being a ball chaser at soccer games to anything he could do, to make a little extra money. So he's blue collar. He's absolutely blue collar, and I'm kind of the same way. My father was a coal miner, and so I mean I kind of identified with his blue collar roots. Hard worker, first guy to get there, last guy to leave. And Elizabeth, it's a huge deal to be captain at Yale because the coaches don't vote, and there's only one captain per team, and the coaches don't get a vote. So obviously he had the respect of his peers, and he did a great job as captain.
There's been a rap on him. I'm sure you've heard that he's prickly, that he's not the warmest guy, that he's not great at retail politics when it comes to the meet and greet and schmoozing that every politician has to do. So I want you to give us your assessment of him as a person. You describe him as a father, as a husband, and as a longtime friend.
That's not his strength. His strength is getting stuff done, which is what I think our country needs. I mean, he's managing the 12th largest economy in the United States, and he is absolutely killing it down here. People love him down here. My wife and I had dinner with he and Casey about 3 years ago, and we talked for 3 hours, and he was just an ex-player to me. He wasn't the governor of Florida. He came to my retirement. I just retired last May, and he flew up from Florida, and he spoke to my team. I didn't ask him to. He wanted to. And then he hung around the next day for the ceremony. What governor does that for his college baseball coach? He's loyal. He cares about his family, obviously. He authored the most proud moment I've ever had as a coach. After he got his undergraduate degree at Yale, he went to Harvard Law School, and right after that, the money he could have made on the open market with those 2 degrees, I mean, it would have been incomprehensible. But he joined the Navy instead because he loves his country and he wanted to serve. And so he did. And he didn't just serve. He spent 6 months in Iraq as an advisor to the SEAL team, which I'm finding out more and more from my military friends that's a huge deal. And then he wanted to serve some more and became a congressman, then a governor, and now he wants to lead this nation. And I think he's exactly what we need.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.